Hello, broadcasting from the Verney Fine Arts Center at Iona Prep, this is the Iona Prep News. In this week's segment, we'll hear from Graham Piro with admissions, Tom Taylor with sports, Matthew Sullivan with alumni news, Gabriel Ferrante with news on Iona Grammar, John Buzzard with an update on the leadership committee, Jack Sullivan with a special report on the Kairos Retreat, and I'm your host, David Skolin. In alumni news, Iona Prep will be hosting its first annual Spend a Day at the Prep for sons of Iona alumni who are in the 5th, 6th, and 7th grades of grammar school. Besides alumni sons, those Iona Grammar School students who are in the 5th, 6th, and 7th grades are also invited to enjoy themselves here at the upper school. Mrs. Mary Lou Pagano, Iona's Director of Alumni, is heading up the event and is planning a day filled with activities that will give the boys a great snapshot of the daily happenings of Iona Prep. Activities will include a workshop on basketball technique with instruction by Iona's basketball coaching staff, a hands-on science workshop taught by members of the science department in the brand new physics lab, and a sampling of our fine arts offerings such as music composition, creative art projects, and even getting behind the camera here in the Verney Fine Arts Center's MSG Varsity studio to try out news broadcasting. The day will end with a light supper hosted by Iona Prep's brother Thomas Lido, president of Iona Prep, for alumni, their spouses, and of course the grammar school boys who would have had a long day here at the Prep. For those interested in more information and for an invitation can be found on Iona Prep's website. Please RSVP by March 5th.
February 6th was National Signing Day for senior student athletes all across the country. This year, the Prep had its highest number of athletes signing the National Letter of Intent in school history. 15 student athletes committed to play football, baseball, lacrosse, and compete in track and field, swimming, and rowing in college. Athletes that signed included O'Shane Morris to Elon University and Kyle Bonzi to Johns Hopkins University for football, Billy Bishop to University of Pennsylvania, and William Pope to Penn State for throwing, as well as Matt Urbano to Binghamton University and John Hyatt to Lafayette for pole vault. Ryan Crowley signed with Monmouth University, Nick Fagari to Fairfield University, and Vinnie Martin with Iona College to play baseball. Michael Florio signed with the University of Scranton, Phil Very to Catholic University, Billy Trezano to Franklin and Marshall University, and Ross Schnitzer to Loyola University to play lacrosse. Charles Barry signed with the University at Buffalo to swim, and Paul Verney to Syracuse University for rowing. And here's Graham with admissions news.
On Saturday, January 5th, Iona held its annual Scholars Brunch. In the past, this brunch was only meant for students who had been accepted into the STEP program, but it has been expanded this year to invite incoming 8th graders who have been accepted into both the STEP program or honors classes. It was a major success for the Prep, and senior David Skolin and graduate Kevin Piro, the class of 2009, both gave rousing speeches that were excellently received. When asked what she thought of the brunch, Mary Lou Pagano, the director of alumni relations here at the Prep, said that she thought it was excellent and was pleased by the large turnout. It was different from past years, but in a positive way, she said, adding that Kevin and David are examples of why Iona men are the best advertisers for Iona. The class of 2017 will undoubtedly be welcomed with open arms when they start school next year in September. And here's Matt with alumni news.
In January, the Alumni Association hosted a reception at Butterfield 8. The reception had a great turnout of about 40 alums. This event is set up for alumni to unwind after work and talk to fellow graduates. Mr. McGrath of the Advancement Office said it gives them an opportunity to socialize and network with each other and talk about their days at the Prep. They connected with graduates of all different ages and celebrated the brotherhood of Iona. It was a great success, and we look forward to another successful reception next year. And now to Jack with news about Kairos.
Thank you, Matt. During the week of February 4th, 25 students and teachers went out on a retreat that is relatively new to Iona, Kairos. Kairos is defined as God's time, but student participant Jadev Dave said that Kairos is a truly indefinable experience. Mr. Casella, the director of campus ministry, brought this retreat to us last year. The retreat is designed to mix both the psychological and spiritual aspects of oneself to prepare oneself for the future. And Mr. Casella is very happy about the steam that was generated for both Kairos 1 and Kairos 2 this school year. Most of you might not know too much about Kairos, and there is a reason for that. The retreat is shrouded in secrecy. As student participant Alexander Donovan pointed out, because the experience is personal, not many details can be shared about the retreat. So far, the feedback has been great for the trip, but for the retreat to continue For the retreat to grow into something greater, much student support is needed. The need to preserve the retreat can be best shown by the words of student participant Brian Deegan, who said that Kairos is an unconventional life-changing experience that could not be compared to any other experience. Here's Gabe with some Iona news.
Thanks, Jack. Nearly every Ionian knows about Iona College. But other than the few that went there, not many are familiar with the Iona Grammar School. Though the Grammar's playing fields are used by Iona's soccer and football teams, they have been separate entities for years. But this is about to change. Late last year, Iona finalized its purchase of the Grammar, and the two are now merging to become a single kindergarten to grade 12 school, which will be called by the umbrella term the Iona Preparatory School. Brother Lito, our president, will remain president of the combined school. Iona financed this purchase with a $9 million low-interest bond from the National Catholic Education Association's Catholic Education Capital Corporation. This purchase was facilitated by a partnership with the far-flung Colorado Educational and Cultural Facilities Authority. These programs aim to allow Iona Prep to do exactly what it has done: preserve Catholic schooling across the United States. One of the major reasons for the purchase was that the Prep had not been able to buy the Grammar. It would likely have been forced to shut down. This would have been a major problem for Iona, as the sale of the land to private developers would have significantly reduced Iona's practice space for its sports teams. Now that the purchase is finalized, the merger will also allow Iona to strengthen the curriculum at the Grammar, to make students educated there more ready for Iona and other high schools' academic programs. The merger will mean more cooperation between the two campuses and a better experience for all Iona students.
Leadership Weekend is coming up, and to find out more about this event, we interviewed two people associated with it. Mr. Raimundo is one of three moderators for the program. He praises the program because it helps to prepare young men for the future. On the definition of a leader, Mr. Raimundo believes it is someone who is always willing to lead by example, is respected and trusted by other people, and learned from their mistakes. Mr. Raimundo is thankful to his students for seeing him as a leader and is very enthusiastic to continue with the leadership program. Trevor Perrone is a member of the class of 2015 here at the Prep. He is a member of the leadership committee. Leadership is very important to him. Trevor defines a leader as someone who teaches others by example. They need to be active both inside and outside the classroom. His biggest goal is to share his leadership qualities with others.
And that's this week's news at Iona Prep. Keep tuning in to find out more about what's going on at our school.